The richest woman in the city threw away her designer dress and put on dirty rags. But what she found on the streets would change everything she thought she knew about love. Tina sat in her golden chair, looking at the city lights through her big window. She had more money than she could count. She owned 10 companies. People called her phone every minute wanting something. But inside, she felt empty like a bottle with no water. "Ma'am, your dinner is ready," said her helper Mary. Tina looked at the expensive food on the table. It looked pretty but tasted like nothing. Just like her life. That night, Tina had a crazy idea. What if nobody knew she was rich? What if people saw her as just nobody? Would anyone care about her then? Would anyone love her for who she really was? She went to her closet and found old, torn clothes from a box. She made her face dirty with mud. She messed up her hair. When she looked in the mirror, she saw a poor woman looking back at her. The next morning, Tina walked to the busy market. But she was not the same Tina anymore. She was just a poor woman with no home. "Get away from my shop," yelled a man selling fruits. "You dirty beggars make my customers run away." Tina had never been spoken to like that. Her heart felt heavy. She sat on the ground near a small food stand. A little girl with bright eyes came running to her. "Mama, look at this poor woman. Can we help her?" The girl's mother pulled her away fast. "Don't talk to people like that, Jessica. Come on." But Jessica kept looking back at Tina with kind eyes. Hours passed. Tina felt hungry for the first time in years. She had no money with her. She left everything at home. Her stomach made loud sounds. Then she saw him. A young man was selling soup from a small pot. He had a warm smile and gentle hands. His clothes were old but clean. His name tag said, Obi. "Please, sir," Tina said in a weak voice. "I have not eaten in 2 days. Can you help me?" Most people had walked past her like she was invisible. But Obi stopped. He looked at her with caring eyes. "Of course, sister," he said. He gave her a big bowl of hot soup. "Eat. You need food." Tina felt tears in her eyes. When was the last time someone called her sister with love? When was the last time someone cared about her without wanting her money? "I cannot pay you," she whispered. Obi smiled. "Did I ask for money? Food is for sharing. That's what my mother taught me." As Tina ate the warm soup, she felt something new. It was not just the food filling her stomach. It was the kindness filling her heart. "What is your name?" Obi asked, sitting next to her. "I am Rose," Tina lied. She did not want to use her real name. "Nice to meet you, Rose. I am Obi. Are you new to the streets?" Tina nodded. "I lost everything. My family. My home. Everything." Obi's face showed pain for her. "I am sorry. The streets are hard. But you are strong. I can see it in your eyes." For the first time in years, Tina felt seen. Not because of her money or power, but because of who she was inside. "Where will you sleep tonight?" Obi asked. Tina had not thought about that. I don't know. Come. I know a safe place. Some good people help people like us." That evening, Obi took Tina to a small shelter. It was not pretty like her big house, but it felt warm. People shared food and stories. They laughed together. They cared for each other. An old man named Tom was sick. Without being asked, people brought him medicine and soup. A young woman named Grace shared her only blanket with a mother and baby. Tina watched all this with wonder. These people had nothing, but they had everything that mattered. "Why are you so kind to me?" Tina asked Obi as they sat outside under the stars. "Why not?" he said. "We are all trying to live. We all need help sometimes. Today I help you. Tomorrow maybe you help someone else. That's how the world should work." Tina felt her heart grow bigger. She had spent years around people who only wanted her money. But here was a man who gave freely without wanting anything back. Days passed. Tina came to the market every day. She watched Obi work hard, selling his soup with a smile for everyone. He gave free food to hungry children. He helped old people carry heavy things. He made everyone feel special. And slowly, Tina felt herself falling in love. But it was not easy being poor. People pushed her away from shops. They called her names. They acted like she was dirty just by being near them. One day, a rich woman in expensive clothes came to buy soup from Obi. "Make sure your friend stays away from me," she told Obi, pointing at Tina. "People like her carry diseases." Tina felt her face burn with shame and anger. In her real life, she was richer than this woman. But now she was nothing. Obi's face became serious. "Ma'am, this woman's name is Rose. She is good people. She has done nothing wrong to you." "I don't care what her name is," the woman said with a mean voice. "Just keep her away." The woman left without buying anything. Obi lost money because he stood up for Tina. "You did not have to do that," Tina said quietly. "Yes, I did," Obi replied. "Nobody talks about my friends like that. Rich or poor, we are all people." That night, Tina could not sleep. She thought about her old life. She remembered being mean to poor people who asked for help. She remembered looking down on people like Obi. Now she saw how wrong she was. Little Jessica, the girl from the market, started visiting Tina every day. Her mother, Sarah, finally allowed it. "Rose, will you tell me a story?" Jessica would ask. Tina loved the little girl. Jessica reminded her that children see people's hearts, not their clothes. One day, Jessica got very sick. Her mother cried because she had no money for medicine. "How much does the medicine cost?" Tina asked. $200, Sarah said. "I will never have that much money." That night, Tina made a hard choice. She snuck back to her big house and took money from her safe. The next morning, she gave it to Sarah. "Where did you get this?" Sarah asked, shocked. "I found it," Tina lied. Sarah hugged her tight. "You are an angel, Rose." But Obi was watching. He looked confused. "Rose, where did you really get that money?" he asked later. Tina's heart beat fast. "I told you. I found it." "Nobody just finds $200 on the street," Obi said. His voice sounded worried. "Are you in trouble? Did you steal it?" "No," Tina said quickly. "I would never steal." But she could see that Obi did not fully believe her. For the first time, her lies were hurting the person she loved most. Days passed. Tina and Obi grew closer. They talked about dreams, about life, about everything. But Tina's lies hung over them like dark clouds. One evening, as they watched the sunset together, Obi took Tina's hand. "Rose, I have something to tell you," he said softly. Tina's heart jumped. "What is it?" I think I love you." The words hit Tina like lightning. Here was pure, honest love. Love that had nothing to do with money or power. Love that saw her heart. "I love you too," she whispered. They kissed under the orange sky. It was the most real moment of Tina's life. But even as happiness filled her heart, fear crept in. What would happen when Obi learned the truth? Would he still love her? Or would he feel betrayed? That night, lying on her small bed in the shelter, Tina made a decision. She would tell Obi everything. She would risk losing his love for the chance of keeping it honestly. But before she could tell him, something happened that changed everything. The next morning, Tina woke up to shouting, "That's her! That's the woman!" A man in a suit was pointing at her. Behind him stood Mary, her helper from her big house. "Ma'am, we have been looking everywhere for you," Mary cried. "The whole city is searching. The newspapers say you are missing." Everyone in the shelter stopped and stared. Obi looked from Mary to Tina with growing shock. "Who is this woman, Rose?" he asked slowly. Mary looked confused. "Rose? Sir, this is Miss Tina Williams. She owns Williams Industries. She is the richest woman in the city." The silence was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Obi stepped back from Tina like she had hit him. "You lied to me," he whispered. "Everything was a lie." "No, Obi. Please let me explain, Dash." But he was already walking away. "Obi, wait." Tina ran after him, but he kept walking. "Don't," he said without turning around. "Don't say another word." And just like that, the most beautiful thing in Tina's life was broken. Tina stood in the middle of the shelter as everyone stared at her. The poor people who had become her family now looked at her like she was a stranger, like she was the enemy. "You played with us," said Tom, the old sick man she had helped. His voice was full of hurt. "You made us feel sorry for you when you have more money than all of us put together." "That's not true," Tina said, tears running down her face. "I never wanted to hurt anyone." "Then why did you lie?" asked Grace, the young woman who had shared her blanket. "Why did you pretend to be poor?" Tina looked around at all the faces. These people had welcomed her. They had shared their food, their stories, their hearts. And she had lied to them all. "I was lonely," she whispered. "I wanted to know if anyone could love me for who I really am, not for my money." "So you decided to lie to find out?" Sarah, Jessica's mother, shook her head. "That's not love. That's playing games with people's feelings." Little Jessica ran to Tina and hugged her legs. "I don't care if you're rich, Rose. You were kind to me. You helped me when I was sick." Tina picked up the little girl and held her tight. At least one person still loved her. "Jessica is right," Tina said to everyone. "I made a big mistake by lying. But my feelings for all of you are real. The love I have for this place, for this family we made together, that's all real." But most people just walked away. Only Jessica and a few others stayed. Mary, her helper, came closer. "Ma'am, we need to go home. Your business partners are worried. The newspapers are asking questions." "I don't care about the newspapers," Tina said. "I need to find Obi." She spent the whole day looking for him. She went to his soup stand, but it was closed. She asked other sellers in the market, but no one knew where he went. Finally, she found him by the river, sitting alone on a rock. He looked so sad that Tina's heart broke into pieces. "Obi," she called softly. He didn't turn around. "Go away, Tina. Or Rose. Or whatever your real name is." "My name is Tina. But when I was with you I felt like Rose. The woman you fell in love with. She's real. She's who I really am inside." Obi stood up and faced her. His eyes were red from crying. "How can I believe anything you say? Everything was a lie." "Not everything." Tina stepped closer. "The way I felt when you gave me soup, that was real. The way my heart jumped when you said you loved me, that was real. The way I love you right now, that's real too. But you lied about who you are. About everything. I lied about my money, yes. But I never lied about my feelings. Obi, I have been rich all my life, but I have never been happy. Not until I met you." Obi shook his head. "You don't understand. I fell in love with Rose, a poor woman who knew what it meant to struggle. You're Tina Williams. You live in a big house. You've never been hungry a day in your life before you decided to play pretend." "You're right," Tina said, her voice breaking. "I don't know what real struggle is. But I know what real loneliness feels like. I know what it's like to have everything and feel empty inside. And I know what real love feels like because you showed me." Obi was quiet for a long time. Finally he said, "I need time to think. This is too much." "How much time?" Tina asked. "I don't know." That night, Tina went back to her big house for the first time in weeks. Everything looked the same, but it felt different. The golden chairs looked cold. The expensive art on the walls looked meaningless. The big empty rooms felt like a prison. Mary brought her dinner on the finest plates. But Tina remembered the simple soup that Obi had given her, and how it tasted better than anything she had ever eaten. "Ma'am, your phone has been ringing all day," Mary said. "Business partners, newspaper people, friends, everyone wants to know where you were." "Tell them I was finding myself," Tina said. The next morning, the newspapers had big headlines. Billionaire Tina Williams found living with homeless people, and the richest woman in the city pretended to be poor. Some people called her crazy. Others said she was making fun of poor people. Nobody understood the truth. But Tina didn't care about the newspapers. She cared about Obi. She went back to the market every day. She watched him from far away as he served soup to customers. He looked sad. He didn't smile like he used to. Sometimes she saw him looking around like he was searching for someone. "He misses you," said a voice behind her. Tina turned and saw Jessica with her mother Sarah. "Jessica insisted we come find you," Sarah said. "She's been crying because she misses you." "I miss her too," Tina said, hugging the little girl. "Obi is hurt," Jessica said in her small voice. "But he still loves you. I can tell." "How do you know?" "Because he keeps the cup you used to drink soup from. He won't let anyone else use it." Hope filled Tina's heart. Maybe there was still a chance. That evening, Tina made a decision. She would show Obi and everyone else that her time with them had changed her. She would prove that her love was real. The next day, she came back to the market. But this time, she wasn't hiding. She came as herself, Tina Williams, the rich woman. But she brought something with her. "What is she doing here?" People whispered as they saw her walking through the market. Tina went straight to the center of the market and called out loudly, "Everyone, please listen to me." A crowd gathered. Some people looked curious. Others looked angry. Obi came out of his soup stand and watched from a distance. "My name is Tina Williams," she said. "Some of you know me as Rose, the poor woman who lived in your shelter. I lied about who I was, and I'm sorry." People started talking loudly. Some said mean things. "But," Tina continued, "living with you changed my life. You showed me what real kindness looks like. You taught me that family is not about blood or money. It's about caring for each other." She pulled out a big bag of money. "This is $50,000. I want to give it to this community." The crowd got quiet. "Tom," she called to the old man, "this will pay for all your medicine for the rest of your life." Tom's eyes filled with tears. "Grace, this will help you go to school like you always wanted." Grace covered her mouth in shock. "Sarah, this will make sure Jessica never has to worry about being sick without medicine again." Sarah started crying. "And for everyone else, this money will help make life a little easier. Not because I feel guilty, but because you are my family. And family takes care of each other." She looked at Obi. "I know money cannot buy forgiveness. I know it cannot fix the hurt I caused by lying. But I want to show you that my time here was not a game. You changed me. All of you changed me." An old woman from the market came forward. "Why should we believe you now? How do we know this is not another lie?" Tina took a deep breath. "Because I'm giving up my old life. I'm selling my big companies. I'm moving to a small house near here. I want to live a simple life. I want to earn your trust back, day by day." The crowd was shocked. Nobody expected this. "I don't want to be the billionaire in the big house anymore," Tina continued. "I want to be part of this community. I want to help people like you helped me." Jessica broke free from her mother and ran to Tina. "Does this mean you're staying?" "If you'll have me," Tina said, picking up the little girl. One by one, people started coming forward. They hugged Tina. They forgave her. Tom, Grace, Sarah, they all welcomed her back. But Obi still stood far away, watching. That night, as the crowd went home, Obi finally came to talk to Tina. "You didn't have to give up your money," he said quietly. "Yes, I did," Tina replied. "Money made me empty inside. Love filled me up. You filled me up. But what if we don't work out? What if you realize you made a mistake? You gave up everything." Tina smiled. "I gave up things that never made me happy. I'm fighting for the thing that does make me happy. You." Obi was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I was angry because I felt like you didn't trust me enough to tell me the truth. You're right. I was scared. I thought if you knew I was rich, you would love my money instead of me. But that was wrong. You're not that kind of person. I fell in love with your heart, not your situation," Obi said. "Rich or poor, you have a beautiful heart. So can you forgive me?" Obi looked into her eyes. "I already did. I was just too proud to admit it." He took her hands. "But no more lies. Ever. Can you promise me that?" "I promise," Tina said. "No more lies. Only truth." They kissed under the stars, just like their first kiss. But this one felt different. This one was built on honesty. 6 months later, Tina and Obi were married in the market, surrounded by their chosen family. Instead of expensive flowers, they had simple ones from the market gardens. Instead of a fancy cake, they had soup and bread. Instead of rich guests, they had the people who really mattered. Jessica threw flower petals as Tina walked down the aisle. Tom played music on an old guitar. Grace sang a beautiful song. Sarah cried happy tears. "Do you, Tina, take Obi to be your husband?" asked the preacher. "I do," Tina said, looking into the eyes of the man who taught her what love really means. "And do you, Obi, take Tina to be your wife?" "I do," Obi said, squeezing her hands. As they kissed as husband and wife, the whole market cheered. Tina kept her promise. She sold most of her companies and kept only one small business. She and Obi opened a food program to help hungry people. They bought a small house near the market. Every day, they worked together to make their community better. And every night, as they lay in bed together, Tina thanked God for the day she threw away her designer dress and found real love in the arms of a soup seller. Sometimes the richest treasures come in the simplest packages. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find what really matters. And sometimes, true love is worth more than all the money in the world. Jessica, now like a daughter to them, would often ask, "Mama Tina, are you happy now?" And Tina would always answer, "Baby, I have never been richer." Because she learned that the only wealth that matters is the wealth of love, kindness, and family. And in that, she was the richest woman alive. The end.